Hello everyone and good day. In this video, I will be showing you how you can integrate Monnify's checkout feature into your product to enable you receive one-time payment. The checkout option allows you to allows your customers to make payment via multiple different options from bank transfer to debit cards to USSD as well as using their phone number. And we're doing this in three steps. First thing first is to add the modified checkout SDK into your project. The second being to update the API keys as well as the contract code of your project. The third one being to add the behavior you want at the end of a transaction. So let's get into it. This is what we're using. I have a sample e-commerce platform that doesn't have an implementation yet. If you click on pay now, it shows you awaiting implementation. So let's look at what I have on my code, and it's the same across all the items here. So let's get here. On this page here, you can see I have a code here that shows the functionality, and let me probably scroll down so that you can see this is what brought up that alert, right? It doesn't have any option. I have four items as you've seen in the previous screen, and you can see I'm calling the pay with Monnify when this button gets clicked, and I'm passing the amount of the item that is being sold. So let's get into implementation. First thing first, like I mentioned, we need to add the Monnify SDK into our project. And here we go. For me, the URL is sdk.monnify.com/plugin/monnify.js. Now that we've added this, the next step is to update this implementation to show what is expected. So for the sake of this here, I have pre-written this and I'm just going to paste it here. So you can see here I have my modify SDK.initialize function added, the amount, which is the amount being passed, here the currency being NGN, the reference here, because every transaction is supposed to have a unique reference number. So I'm using date time, the get time function of JavaScript to be able to get the time. I'm converting it back to string. I'm passing my name, the email address, my API key, which is like a public key anyway, and the contract code which specifies what methods are allowed for this. So like the method in this case here becomes like bank transfer. Do you want to accept card? Do you want to accept phone number? Do you want to accept USSD? Then a brief description of what the payment is about. But since this is a demo, I'm just going to use Monnify demo. Tokenization, you can ignore that. Tokenization of card is based on if you want the card to be saved on the file. Then we have metadata, which will be sent at the end of the transaction with you. Down here, there are two functions, two hooks for this here. On successful completion of a transaction, a callback function is called here, the parameter being the response, and I'm just logging it here. Then I'm checking if the response status is success. I redirect the user into the confirm page. If it is not, I just log the transaction details and I get to see what is happening at the end here. And down here, you can see the unclose function, which is another function that I'm adding to the project um, to ensure that if it's closed, I just want to log to see this. So that's just what we have here. I just tried to fix a typo, an error that I did here just now. So sorry for the distraction. So let's get back to our code and see it's in action. So this is what we had previously. And most importantly, the second step I mentioned is to get the API keys, right? This is what I currently have API key and the contract code. In your case here, you need to log into your platform, to the dashboard, basically at app.monnify.com, and you scroll down on the left bar here to the developer section of things. You will be able to see your API key and secret key. So this is currently test mode, so that's why if I click on show keys now, an OTP gets sent to me for me to be able to see the key, but I've already copied the key, and that's what you've seen on the other side. There's no need to worry about somebody seeing your key, at least for in my case here, even though it's a text environment, I can easily reset my key and my previous key becomes invalid. The contract code that I used there, you can see it here. And the options I have are currently card, debit, direct debit, account transfer, and cash. So we're going to see this contract code in action. as well as the API key. So let's get back to our page. These are the items we have. Imagine I want to buy this tumbler and I'm going to click on pay now. So this gets triggered. You can see we have two options because like we are not going to be showing you direct debit as well as cash here. The options that you have online is either pay with card or bank transfer. So here I'm going to click on card. I'm just going to select one of our success test card and click on continue. Payment is successful. If everything goes right, it gets to direct me to the confirm page, which is what we have here. So it's very, very simple and direct. First step being to have the Monnify SDK, which is currently, which you can probably find here on the Monnify checkout documentation. You can see the link here. And this is what we have for the functionalities. You can see all the examples of things that you want to add here. And then this is what the response looks like, which we can also see if I go back to the previous page. So everything gets synced. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.